Molly Sheehan is now joining us. She's running in Pennsylvania's 5th district. She is the third female scientist candidate we've had on in the last 2 shows. So it's a trend, and it's a wonderful trend. So Molly, you're in a redistricted part of Pennsylvania. Well, now it's all redistricted, right? You're running in the 7th district, but now you're in the 5th district. And that district is going to go to a Democrat. Hillary Clinton won it by 30 points. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We were gifted a D+13 here. So now we really have an opportunity to elect a strong progressive voice and someone who speaks for the people. And we don't have to try to hedge on moderates to try to win a district.
So I want everybody to understand the context of this. So Patrick Meehan is retiring because of course, a sexual harassment scandal. He was the Republican that held the seat. It's now, because of the redistricting in Pennsylvania, this particular district is heavily Democratic. So whoever wins the Democratic primary, very, very likely to win the general election. So then, of course, Molly, that gets to the question of why you. I'm sure that the Democratic establishment has someone that they favor who's either a millionaire or a billionaire. I don't know, I literally don't know, but I'm guessing, and it's probably true. Anyway, but so why you instead?
Yeah, so I got in early to run a people-focused grassroots campaign. I've been campaigning since April. I've been meeting people throughout the district, even much of the area that is still in the district lines. And I'm running on a progressive platform. I'm running as a scientist. I'm running as someone who thinks about things differently and comes up with real plans and solutions that will offer the kinds of bold policies that will allow us to bring back our country and build a constituency for the progressive movement that we can win at every single level. And I think I'm the only person in this race who's really pushing for bold policies like single-payer healthcare and who is fighting for a real jobs economy for Southeastern Pennsylvania.
How many Democrats are in the primary?
There's currently 14, I think.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, they keep jumping in.
But Molly, really, you're the only one that's in favor of single-payer healthcare out of the 14?
So I don't know, because most of the people running don't have any policy on their websites at all. They have a bio about what they've done in their life, but I am one of the few candidates running that have any policy on their website and issues pages fleshed out. There's some other people that say they're for single payer, but when you press them on it, say that it's a decade away or very far, which I would say is not a vision of single payer healthcare now.
Yeah. So, and by the way, there's just some candidates who don't have the resources to be able to build the right websites, et cetera. But I'm curious about the major candidates. Among the major candidates, are there some that are more favored by the establishment? And I don't know, so you tell me. And then if they do they not have their policy positions on their websites? Because they have plenty of resources, I would imagine.
Yeah, so one of the things that's kind of funny about the redistricting is that because it went from a really hard battle that I was ready to fight, to take out somebody who was enabling Trump. Now that it's a D+13, a lot of people have just jumped in the last couple weeks. And so there are some people that the establishment is probably favoring, or they're people that are already electeds, but they either don't have websites yet, or they have no policy on their website whatsoever. Or it's very vague. Even one person who's been in since April with me, I would say, has very vague policy on their website.
And how about campaign finance reform? What's your position on that?
Yeah, I absolutely think we need campaign finance reform. I'm for overturning Citizens United, but I think we need more. And I believe in bottom-up change. I think that how we're really going to get campaign finance reform is by writing a new script and showing we can run grassroots campaigns through ingenuity, by re-engineering campaigns and writing a script that allows people from poor communities to win and get their message out. And that's how we'll really be able to take back our country. And it's not going to come from the systems that are at the top and benefit from the current big money system and the campaign industrial complex. That's not going to dissolve itself. We're going to have to prove that we can win without it.
So, but how would you know about analyzing and studying an issue, since you only have a PhD in biochemistry and biophysics from the best university in the country, UPenn? Can you tell if I went?
Yeah, it's a great university. I've been fortunate to work there for about 10 years now. Yeah.
So in all seriousness though, so you do have these PhDs in these very technical fields and ones that are not attached to politics. So why politics?
Well, I'd say we are really attached to politics. Our funding is really attached to politics. And actually, I think we've been really left out of the conversation about how we move healthcare forward. And that's really the impetus that led to me running for US Congress specifically is we're going to get single payer and we're going to get a healthcare system that works for us, because insurance isn't healthcare either. We're going to get actual healthcare that works for everybody by bringing people like us that do drug development, that do medical device development into the conversation about patent reform, about making sure that we're doing research properly in women and minority populations so that we're not only creating drugs that work in men. I mean, that's a huge inefficiency to the system. And it's going to take people like me who have the background in healthcare development to really push these ideas forward and fix efficiencies of our system while improving quality of care so that we can move to a single payer system that actually works for everybody.
Right, but have you ever proven that you really care about other people by going to, for example, Uganda and trying to help people?
Yeah, so I moved to Uganda after college and I started grant writing initiatives for orphan communities. I was also a Quaker youth pastor before that. And actually throughout the last 10 years, I've served on quite a few boards, ones that review biomedical graduate studies at the University of Pennsylvania, also one that purchases group health insurance for a group of 24,000 people through the ACA rollout. I'm also on a task force that's building multilingual immersion programs in the Philadelphia public schools. So I've been really involved in my community for a long time, even though I haven't run for elected office before.
So Molly, one more thing. So I look at your list of policy priorities and they are deeply progressive. And so I try to pick ones that I don't normally talk about. And you've got early childhood education on here as one of your top priorities. So why is that on the list? And not as a policy issue, we all care about it, but so high up on your list, and what do you propose to do about it?
Yeah, so absolutely. I mean, bang for buck, the best investment we can make as a society is in children in the first 5 years of their life. It's how we need to nurture people. And right now we're really abandoning babies from birth. We're not giving people paid maternity and paternity leave. It doesn't allow fathers to have really robust relationships with their children. I meet people constantly on the campaign trail who work two pretty good jobs, but still really struggle to pay for childcare and are uncomfortable with how their daycares are funded, and that's tragic. And we also need federally funded universal pre-K. We need to make sure that kids are starting elementary school on the same level. And I'm hesitant to push a lot of other policies until we really start taking care of communities from infancy. We need to make sure that everyone has a really good start to their lives and everyone has a chance to really thrive. And those first 5 years are critical to people thriving for the rest of their lives.
So Molly, I'm a little concerned about you because I'm not sure you're going to get along with your Republican colleagues there, because they believe that once you stop being a fetus, it's your problem, man, not my problem. So
yeah. I would say that is a far greater problem in Republican representatives than it is in the actual Republicans I've met throughout the district. Yes, most of them really do care about their neighbors.
Yeah, that is a good point. You know, they often do pervert what some of their voters think, and some of their voters are terrible. Okay, but some of their voters actually do care about the entirety of our lives, as opposed to just when we're fetuses. But Molly obviously making a great point about how we've got to improve what we do for kids so they lead productive lives. All right, so Molly Sheehan, running as the progressive in Pennsylvania's 5th district, and you can go to our website, check out her priorities yourself. And I want to put up all the links right there. If you want to volunteer, that makes all the difference in the world. And of course, a donation link. If you're not taking big money, you're gonna need those small dollar donors to win. And wouldn't it be amazing if we had a brilliant scientist in office who's actually gonna fight for you guys instead of some random rich dude? Okay, Molly.
I agree, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, we appreciate it.